Hi, and welcome to Book Impressions. In this episode, I will give you my impression of the book Brightly Burning by Alexa Donne. Now, this is kind of a very interesting cover already from what I can see. I do love the colors. I always say in some of my other videos that when you use those different types of blues in a cover, there's just something about that draws the eye. But what really draws the eye here to me is this really beautiful font. And then, of course, whatever this object is, it just kind of draws you in. The book has a lot of writing on it from here to here to here, but it's very well balanced. And I think that helps that book to really pop probably off the bookshelf of Amazon. So let's look at how this photo compares to what's in the blurb. Okay, let's see. It says, Stella Ainsley leaves poverty behind when she quits her engineering job aboard the Stalwart to become a governess on a private ship. On the Rochester, there's no water ration, more books than one person could devour in a lifetime, and an AI who seems more friend than robot. But no one warns Stella that the ship seems to be haunted, nor that it may be involved in a conspiracy that could topple the entire interstellar fleet. Surrounded by mystery, Stella finds her equal in the brooding but kind 19-year-old Captain Hugo. When several attempts on his life spark more questions than answers, and the beautiful Bianca Ingrams appear as Hugo's request, his unpredictable behavior causes Stella suspicions to mount. Without knowing who to trust, Stella must decide whether to follow her head or her heart. It says Alexa Donne's lush and enthralling reimagining of the classic Jane Eyre sets among the stars will seduce and beguile you. Okay, well, it's a very intriguing blurb. I'm not sure how all this fits into it, but I'm sure if you're probably reading the book, I'm sure there's a reason for this. I'm still trying to figure out what kind of an object this is, but anyway. Let's look a little more at this book. It has 405 pages, so it's a pretty good sized book. It's in English. She says it's probably in the age range of a 7th to 9th grader, 12 years and up, so it's obviously kind of a young adult, kind of teenage type book. It is $9.99 on Kindle. It has a paperback for $9.99. It has a hardcover for $7.95, and even has an MP3 CD, so it's kind of like an audiobook. It's just in a CD for $10.24. And let's look at its ratings. It has 263 ratings, so it's got a pretty good amount of ratings. Let's see if I can find when this book was published, because it looks like there's a lot of interesting reading you can do. She gives you an excerpt from chapter 1, so that's kind of nice. You can read that. Okay, I don't see an actual publishing date here. Let's see. Okay, publication date. This was published on May 1st, 2018, so considering it's done in 2018, it doesn't really have what you call a lot of ratings, but it has some. So let's look at the star ratings and see how this book is doing. Okay, in the 5 stars, it has 65%, 4 stars 18%, 3 stars 12%, 2 stars 3%, and 1 star 3%. Out of the full dividing altogether, it has 4.4 out of 5 when you average all this. So let's read some of the headlines in 5 stars. Okay. Reader, I love it. an amazing sci-fi retelling of a beloved classic, head over heels, already on my reread list, an unexpected classic, one of the best adaptations of Jane Eyre ever. A quick read left me looking for another 4 to 5 chapters, okay? Highly addictive page-turner. A great space Jane Eyre adaptation. Fun retelling with great world building, okay? I'm not familiar with this Jane Eyre story, but the people who are really like this, so let's look at 4 stars. Okay, and 4 stars, an immersive page-turner, ending a bit rushed. Okay, they thought it was a page-turner, but they only gave it 4 stars because they thought the ending was too rushed. Interesting. It says, stayed up till 4 a.m. reading it, okay? Fun, spunkin' stars, quick and easy, space romance, easy read, brightly burning, excellent retelling of Jane Eyre. So some of these could be 5 stars. One of those books that's just plain fun to read. Fun twist on a classic story. You know, like I said, some of these could have been 5 stars. Okay, let's look at 3 stars. This is where our constructive criticism comes in. It says, a decent casual read in its own right, but it's not quite there as a worthwhile retelling. Okay. Decent light read. Fun and fluffy Jane Eyre in space. Boring, but their writing quality is there. Okay, that's an opinion. Not bad, not amazing. Mixed bag. Falls flat. This one was willing to say 2.5 stars, but they decided to give it 3. A futuristic retelling of Jane Eyre. Jane Eyre in space. Okay. So they weren't overwhelmed by it, but they gave it 3 stars. Let's look at 2 stars, which is at the 3%. Nah. Disappointing science fiction update to a classic. Underwhelming take on Jane Eyre. Was alright. Disappointing. Not for me. Yeah, some of these are probably people who really don't read this type of genre, but he gave it 2 stars. He gave it a try. 1 star is really people who don't read these genres, but they're willing to give it a try. It's not too great, plot is fine, but the world makes no sense and kills it all. Okay? So boring, alright? You can tell it's not their cup of tea. Okay, let's find out about Alexa Donne. Let's look at her bookshelf and see if she has more than this book. And let's look at her autobiography. Well, we know this is not a book series that I can see. Okay, like she does have more than 1 book. Okay, let's go into her autobiography. Okay, this must be Alexa Donne here. And she has 3 books. Okay. And they run into about $9.99 to $10.99. I have a funny feeling because of the prices of her books that she must be traditionally published. Alrighty, let's see. She does have some kind of a blog. And let's look at her autobiography. Alexa Donne is an author of Brightly Burning and The Stars We Steal, young adult sci-fi romance retelling of classics set in space, out now from Houghton Mifflin Harcourt. Her next young adult, The Ivy, the thriller set in the world of competitive college admission, will be out in May 2021, and it's obviously out now. From Crown Random House, so she's got quite a big traditional publisher publishing that book. A graduate of Boston University, she works in TV marketing and has done pro bono college admission mentoring since 2014. A true INFJ in her free time. She mentors with Right Girl, runs the Author Mentor Match program, and manages one of the most popular writing advice channels on YouTube. Okay, she's a YouTuber. She lives in Los Angeles with 2 fluffy ginger cats named after young adult literature characters. You can find her in most places at Alexa Donne. So she uses that as her handle. So, okay, well, she's got an impressive autobiography. So anyway, what I will do is I will link this book, Brightly Burning, down in the description if you want to look at it and come over here and check out her other books. And if you like content like this and you want to continue receiving content like this, you know what to do. Just subscribe. And with all that in mind, this is Book Impressions. Until next time, signing off.